Round of applause, kings and queens. All right. Okay, camera check. We can turn the cameras back on right now. And shout out to MI5 and MI6 inside there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I mean? Or we burn Babylon straight. Kick for Babylon. Yeah. All right. Like, all the cameras are nice, yeah? All cameras are nice? Yeah? All right, cool. Just making sure. All right, kings and queens. What's my name? Some of you forgot, you know what I mean? Sharp memory on these things. Don't worry. You're at the Hidden Science Academy. We'll work that out. All right, I'm just going to give you a rundown. Modus operandi, or rules of engagement for getting your food, where you got to pay and so on and so forth. But just to let you run through the day first and foremost, we will be beginning with Kahun Montu Tar, beginning with the origins of African spirituality. Yeah, man, circuit the vibes on 1, 2, sure. All right. Then after that, we're going to have the Black History Man himself, Robin Walker, addressing the importance of the so-called Book of the Dead. A lot of words in the dry. 1, 2. Loosen up, man. Come. I'm a dance instructor, so I'm going to have to get you to just get up and whine a little piece. You know what I mean? No. But I am actually a Kemetic yoga instructor, so we might do a little bit of that later on, all right? Following that, we're going to have our first break here. And during the break, it's important that you do 2 things. The first thing I know that I don't have to encourage you to do, which is get your food. The second thing is to visit the stall area, yes? The stall area is basically in a circle, kings and queens. So if you walk around the circle as you go through the corridor, you'll find the stall area. Very, very important that we patronize our stalls, yeah? Our stalls and our black businesses. Do you agree with me? Yeah, so please make sure that you check out the stall area. All kinds of things I'm seeing. Health products, clothing accessories, books for your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of different things. So do check that out during the break. And that first break will be at approximately 2:20, kings and queens. All right? We will be starting back at 3:20. That's an hour break, okay? 3:20, yes. And after that, we're going to hear from Andrew Mohammed and Adele Stedman, Kemetic Science in Hollywood. Nice, kings and queens. Some of you watch that. What's that show called again? The Price is Right or something like that? Why name show anyway? Can't remember. Yeah. What's it called? Following that, we'll have another break. Yeah, a shorter break this time of 10. Oh, that's another hour. You're getting another hour break, kings and queens. You're lucky. All right. So that break is at 5 to 5, that's 4:55, and then at 5:55 we're going to come back and we're going to be hearing from the main man himself, the scientist, brother Leon Marshall, who's going to break down the hidden purpose of the pyramids. Now, kings and queens, this is the hidden science of ancient Kemet, and I know some of you, as soon as you leave here, are going to be going home to check out the hidden science of Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? But before you do that, we would like you, yeah, because the stores will be still here, all right? So make sure once again that you use all breaks, opportunities to check out the stores. Speak to the speakers. A lot of the speakers have their wares on sale also, so you can take the speakers home with you, not literally speaking. Making that clear because some of them are married, you know what I mean? So we'll make that clear, very clear, all right? But make sure you check out their stores and take their wares home with you because you can increase your knowledge in that kind of way, okay? All right? Yes? Okay, this is the Hidden Science Academy. As well as being your host, I am also a member of the Got Kush TV team, as you can see, you know, over here doing the primary filming for the day's occasion. Can we give Got Kush a round of applause, please? You'll find the flyers on your desk and more on that a little bit later on. Right, now Kings and Queens, I know we're in Middlesex University, but whenever I host an event, yeah, wherever I'm hosting, in fact, wherever African people are in abundance, yeah, is Africa. So right now, yes, the 4 corners of this event, yeah, is Africa. And for today, it's more specifically ancient Kemet. Where are we? Where are we? Now I know it's December. And it's cool outside. But, you ever heard of what you call positive visualization? That's what we're going to do about now, Kings and Queens. We're going to visualize ourselves along the banks of the Nile. And we're going to getting ready to take in some serious knowledge, yeah, from our priests, our scholars, and our scribes. And the important thing about being in ancient Kemet is that when the priests, the scholars, and the scribes, oh, this is a very important woman.
Gosh, really?
This is my mum. I was expecting to see her. You know what I mean? Hi, Mummy. I'm my Auntie Denise.
Hello.
How you doing? That was a surprise. I didn't know, you know. I had no idea. That's what happens when your son's a host, you know what I mean? You get embarrassed live in public. It's all good. Love you, Mum. All right. Where was I? Ancient Kemet. We're there at Ancient Kemet. And the important thing about being Ancient Kemet is the African audience dynamic, which means that nobody should come on the platform without you being ready to receive them. And nobody should give you energy from the platform without you reciprocating that energy. Everybody say reciprocate. Nice English word. Reciprocate. That means give and receive. As you are given, you give back. Is that fair, kings and queens? All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to have a little trial run as I introduce our first speaker for today. He is the Kahun of the Holy Coptic Church in the UK. A very knowledgeable man, a man who's been on this road for a very long time, kings and queens. And he's going to give you the origins of African spirituality. So kings and queens, please put your hands together, make some noise for the one and only, the right pastor, Kahun Montu Tar!
Stand up to everything you say, right? Before we begin, when we always say our greetings, we say namaste. It simply means I bow to the divinity in all of you. Let me just ask a quick question. We did this last year. University. Fix me up to now. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I do the kind of bilingual thing too, by the way. So you got to understand a bit of English and maybe a bit of Cockney and a bit of the Yardie too. So we do all of that, right? So before we begin, we're going to walk, just take us through a little bit, because I know some people's asking, if he's pastor, right, why is he doing African spirituality? Reason being is because our spirituality, as we saw it back home, is religion. So we're going to just do a little piece first. Now, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to need your participation, meaning you're going to read. Can everybody read in here? Who can't read? Put up your hand. Okay, that means I can't read, so I need you. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of reading just for the first part so we get an understanding of it. Yes? Yes? Oh, because I was wondering who I was talking to. He did say, what's that? Reciprocate. Reciprocate. Yes, we're going to do that. Shall I begin? First, we're going to look at spirituality. Let's look at the word. I'm going to make it roll out so we can all read it together neatly. Yes? Read early, English, clergy. Well done. Supposed to be reading. Anyway, early 15th century, the clergy also ecclesiastical properties, things pertaining to the church. Okay, from Middle English French, spiritual light, from Latin, yeah, spiritualitatum, yeah, there you go. Going right down to spiritual, we're getting to the highlighted piece, right? Because you lot ain't joining in with me. So the highlighted piece, the quality of being spiritual. So we're looking at spirituality. We first got a little understanding of spirituality before we start to roll. Spirituality takes us to spiritual. Let's go again, see if we can do it. Especially in religious aspects from the Old French.
Spiritual.
Only one reader.
Spiritual was directly from a medieval Latin ecclesiastical use.
Right?
Latin spirituality.
I stop there. Pertaining to breath, breathing, wind, air, pertaining to spirit, spirituals. reason why we're looking at this is because we're just getting a good understanding, right? And I'm getting a good understanding that none of them can read too well. But it's okay. Don't worry. We're working. Continue. Spirit. So let's look at the word spirit now. Okay. Now, when you're seeing spirit, let it roll. In fact, let me bring it up fast because you don't, it's not working with it. So as you're seeing, when you're looking at spirit, you'll see it takes you back to breathing, respiration, wind, breath, the breath of God. Now, when you even analyze the word spirit and you go into the Arabic, you come up with a word called naf. You go into the Hebrew, you come up with a word called nafish. Nafish. When you analyze these words, they will tell you about the breath. They'll also explain that it's about the personality. So when we're talking about spirit, it's really looking at your personality as well. The personality of each and every one of you, the personality of nature, the personality of where you were. Okay? As a culture. We continue. Now we're going to look at the word religion, just so that we get an idea. Now, before we go into the word religion, remember the English language, it kind of gets funny. Why? Because they use and they mix them up. For instance, the words what the Greco-Romans, Europeans would use for religion is a word called seh, S-E-H, seh, or son-e-ha, seh. And that means for you to get tied to, but it's a different meaning. When you go into the word that we would use in ancient Tamaray or in Africa, we'd use the word called millah. I'm just saying, they would say millah means the way of, just so that we can get an understanding. So when we're seeing religion, we're seeing the state of life bound by what? What's that mean? Monotheism. It's the religion practices. Monotheistic religion. Respect for what is sacred. So we understood the reverence of things that what is. I'm just on it for you. And then we have this. To what? To bind fast. And that's how they tied your religion with their religion. Making you say, I'm religious, I'm spiritual. Not realizing that it's the same to us, not to them. Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay. So we bind to our way of life. We live by our way of life. The religion breeds your rituals. The rituals breed your culture. So you always have that code that makes the culture work. Some say spirituality, some say religion. We get caught up on religion because we get caught up in the West and their concept of your precept principles that make you say, I'm not religious. But we say, no, it's a spirituality. It's a religion as well. Continue. Part of the concept or the precept that we had, say this for me loud, please. What does that mean? It means everything that we see in the heavens is replicated on earth, within. Think about this for a second. If we all came out of one thing, meaning from the birth of the universe, and the birth of the universe birthed all of us, or everything that exists, and once it exists within the way of nature, or exists according to the will of what we would call the Most High, then it must replicate. Am I clear? So if it doesn't replicate, then something happened. Somebody interfered with it. So as you can see, you see the stars, you see the atom. It replicates. We can show it in other forms. As above, so below. Oh, as above. Thank you. So below. As above, so below. On your left-hand side, it says, neural structure in the brain. On the right-hand side it says, computerized model of the universe. Do you see the similarities? So, when you're looking at the neural structure of the brain, when they analyze the universe through a computer, it's a similar pattern. We teach, and we always taught in our origin of spirituality, that you're looking in the mind of the Most High when you're looking in the universe. And that's why when you're seeing these two images, you're saying, wow, they look the same. Because, again, as above, okay, I'm going to work you. We're going to work today. Let's go. Let's continue. And we're still as above, so below. Here's my favorite. As above, so below. The planet needs to be seeded. Meteorites hit the planet. It seeded the planet. It allowed for life to become on the planet, providing the planet was in the right state. So with the right state, when bacteria hit the planet, it can now do what? Germinate, survive, grow. Because when you're saying creation, creation simply means growth. A lot of people don't understand. When you look at the word creation, it simply means to grow. So everything that grows has a time period. As then, when you look below, you see the womb and the sperm making its way to the egg, as above. Again, as above. Okay. Our sciences understood this, that there was that system that we had with each other. We was in tune with nature. Now, let's walk on a bit further. Everybody knows what this is, right? No? The Rosetta Stone. You don't know? No. Okay, when you walk into the British Museum and you walk into that area what they have called Egypt, the first thing you see is the Rosetta Stone, and everybody around the Rosetta Stone. Anybody been to the British Museum? You've been down there and seen it? And they're all gathering around? Look, and it's in a glass case, and everyone's saying, wow, the Rosetta Stone. Why is the Rosetta Stone so important? No, I didn't want you. I want you first. The Rosetta Stone was so important because, according to them, the Rosetta Stone had what you call hieroglyphics on top. Hieroglyphics, it means sacred script. Then the next row down, demotic. That's what they use when they're looking in, saying, Ur of Chaldea in that region. And then they had Greek. And they were saying from this, they were able to translate our ancient texts. So this stone was important. And this stone explained everything. And it made the European part of your history. Why? Because it was written there. And if it was written in Greek, demotic, and hieroglyphics, that means they was around at that time to witness it. True? Not true. Not true. That was put in place to tie them in. I'm giving you this so that you can get an understanding. Now, when we move to the next picture, everyone know what this is? Anybody? Not us. But this is the most important one. But when you walk into the British Museum and you walk down the side, it's just sitting there on the wall. And it just sits there. And nobody really pays any attention to this. But when you look at it, what do you see? Anybody? A sun. Okay, let's keep that in mind. You see a sun. Let's move on. Here's a better picture when you see, on the side you can see the hieroglyphs. Right? This is what they look at it. It's called the Chewbacca stone. Let's talk about the Chewbacca stone for a minute. There's a Pharaoh, Aferti, we like to say, that him and his scribes found the stone. He's dated back 10,500 years, Chewbacca. And when he found this stone, in digging, the stone itself went back another 10,000 years. So how many years are we talking all in? 20,000 plus years. Okay. On this stone, it explained the story of creation. It talked about creation. Explained how creation came in. 20,000 years ago, put in we'll look at time because I'm going to run me off soon. 20,000 years ago, this was written by your ancestors. So we were looking at that and understanding how science worked. Let me move, like I said, I've got to keep my eye on time. So the stone, when the Greeks entered our region, they call it the Menthite theology. So if you go online, you can look up Menthite theology. That's how you find it. Egyptian scholars call it the Atenist or the Atonist text. Yeah, but I can't see it properly on that side. I'm happy here. Over there. Put me over here. I want to go over there. Anyway, the Atonist text and the Atonist text. He said, for the purpose of the camera, it's better that I'm here. So I'm here to oblige. So God push, they're doing their work and respect you. All right? So within it, it speaks about this person here. Ta. Ta, known as the fixer or combiner or the opener. Some say pata. We say ta because in our ancient text, we didn't have the P and the P was silent. So it wasn't really it was tar. So we have it down as tar. Yes? Okay, you with me? I know everybody's quiet. I see some people scribbling down. I love that. The people that's just sitting there going, you're going to forget tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to forget. Remember, you should have been scribbling down. At least pull the phone out and click it. You're in trouble. Anyway, let's continue. All right, ta. As or pata. Now you see the word here. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it a bit lighter. Ta. Now, when you go into our ancient language, you see where it's saying. I know there's a light on here, but I won't fight with it. Not that button. Ta. I'm sorry, I'm getting to know this thing. You see the word with fata. And when you see that word fata, you see to open. And you use the mefta, the key. Why is this important? Because as we say, as you can see beneath there, ta, bringing all into existence within the primordial waters of Nun, creating, nice, isn't it? The primordial sun. What's happening here? Let me explain it to you. They'll talk when you go back and you read, go into the Menthite theology, or you go into what's called the Shubha. It talks about Ta bringing everything into play. And they'll say Ta is the creator of the physical world. So, we've got to get an understanding that nothing happens with just poof. Well, I mean that. I'm not talking poof, poof. I mean, I know. When I say that poof, I thought, I know, but nothing happened with them anyway. But nothing happens with just poof. It doesn't go like that. Everything has to come from somewhere. So there's a realm of what we call pre-existence that allowed things to exist in this physical realm. So before this physical realm, or this realm of existence, there was a realm of pre-existence. And this pre-existence realm that we're talking about, life existed there. This being Ta, the opener, allowed the opening to happen in order bringing things together to make what they call the The big bang. And the first primordial sun came into existence. Meaning that sun that the whole universe was going around. Now, that sun that the whole universe was going around is where we are now. And it just triggered. Within the Menthite theology, or if you like, the Shabaka stone, it explains the name of the sun. It explains where it came from, how it came in. And this was our science. Our science was based on this. Our religion was based on this. Our spirituality was based on this. Ta, I've got so much to give you and little time to do it. Let's continue. So Ta is the fixer, the opener. And Ta utilized elements within his realm. Say who he. Again, who he. When you say who he is saying masculine and feminine forces. You cannot have anything within the physical realm without masculine, feminine forces, or if you like, positive and negative. It's like the car battery. Can your car start with just a negative or a positive charge only? That was a question, by the way. It wasn't rhetorical. No, good. So, but Ta was known as the creator or the creative source and force of divine willpower. The utterance that brought things into existence. So Ta utilized this is what's written within our doctrine. Also utilized Hika. Say Hika. As you can see, the who was masculine, the he was feminine. So you're talking about he, the feminine force, Ka, meaning spirit, that feminine first personality, or that feminine spirit that brought things into existence. We say the anthropomorphic, activating, divine African spirit. That was used with Huhi. Finally, Siha. Say it please, Siha. Which is the concept of divine conscientiousness. Which, if you can imagine another realm where you're in and you're bringing life, you're utilizing these elements to bring things into play. Let's continue, because I really don't have a lot of time. I've got a lot to give you. So when we looked at it, and we went into it, they talked about what's called the principles, and they will give you these. Atumre, the undifferentiated one. Nun, the primordial abyss. Nunet, the primordial waters. So things came into existence within that time period when Atumwe, or let's do it another way for you. Differentiate as the sun is rising and your eyes are blurred. It's hard to differentiate, hard to define. But then it had to be put in a point where there was abyss or the primordial waters. Our Bible and our Quran will grab it and said God created the state of nothingness and put things into existence. Understand? No? Yes? No? Okay, let's continue. So much to give, not enough time. So you have Hatumre, and we're now relating Atumre to the chemicals or elements. Hydrogen, this is how we saw it. So the hydrogen is proton, neutron. What's missing? Or proton, electron. What's missing? I told you, right? Neutron. So it's that first base where things came into existence. We say Atumre. Then the next would be Nun, helium. Do you understand? This is how we detonate. So when we were calling them by name, we related them. They changed it and gave you all these different things. But to us, that was it. Then we had, I'm moving fast now. Relational. Nun, nunet. Say it loud, please. This is what they call the Ogdawards, or the rational. Anybody heard of Ogdawards? No? Okay, there's one. Me and you, I'm gelling, we're working. Right? We say the rational. You had Nun, Nunet, He Het, Ket, Kiket, Amun, Amunet. representing water, air, earth, fire. Why is this important? These 4 elements are replicated through the universe constantly. If you deal with a scientist will say to you, there's 4 basic energies which bring the universe into existence, or within the universe, and they'll say electromagnetism, they'll say gravity, nuclear force, strong nuclear force. All with us was simply the earth, wind, water, fire. Right? I'm moving because this seminar really should be taking a bit longer than we're doing. So you looked at the atom ray right through the 99 just gave before. This is how we link them up. Atom ray, hydrogen, nun, helium, nunet, lithium, he, beryllium. And it continued. So when you look in our books and you saw atom ray, or you saw these principles, a lot of people didn't realize we were actually talking about elements at certain time, beings at another time, places at another time, errors at another time. So different point in time, depending on how you was reading it, is what you would see. 5 minutes. Okay, that's the computer. Then when you move past them, you heard atum, shu, tefnot, geb, nut. Again, earth, wind, water, fire. This was us acknowledging that these elements are what brought us into existence. And we understood that these elements brought us into existence. So much so that every time you saw one of that image, what was at the top? The sun. And they make it as if to say we were sun worshippers. Not that we were sun worshippers. We acknowledged the sun. Without the sun, there would be no earth, wind, water, or fire. Without the sun, there would be no you. And when you look at yourself, remember, as above, within you, you find the blood, which is water. Well done. You also find the physical body, which would be considered the earth. Well done again. You breathe, which is considered the wind. And then they say you got a solar plexus, fire. Earth, wind, water, fire. So we understood that the replication of everything that happened replicated in yourself. That's why when they look at you with curling photography, they can see, with no time to go into that because I want to go 4 minutes, to go into all that, they can see the fire, the light, the life in you. You Nubian Melanite people have a bright light. And that fire was another sun that's inside you. Okay, let me continue. Oh, no, let's go back. Sorry. Now you see what everyone knows as the dendera. The dendera was a symbol of the... How do you make this thing work? Anyway, you have the inner circle representing the solar system. The outer circle representing the galaxy. And the outer ring, the universe. We charted knowing that one works this way, the other works this way, the other works that way. And we charted the energies within the universe that would be passed from the universe to the solar system, or to the galaxy, to the solar system, to you. They grab it and they call it astrology and tell you about a zodiac and all these different animals. That's their minimum understanding of these 12 gods or deities or guardian angelic hosts. So much to teach, not enough time. So in the center, you saw Tauret. Come on, move fast, move fast, move fast. Tauret. Ta, earth, wa, ret, sun. The earth and the sun. We was acknowledging the earth and the sun brought everything into existence. Tauret should be seen as the hippopotamus. I wanted to go into stuff with Tauret because if you look, you can see what she's leaning on there. You see it? I know this thing can point something. I know it can point something. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, there you go. That there, you see it? Yes? That's called a sa. S-A, a sa. And it represents what you would call the DNA strand. You see it? The DNA strand. Imagine that. So she was the one that was seen as that which gave life. As a mammalian, and on the back here, symbol of a crocodile or alligator. Meaning, we was a mixture of mammalian and reptilian. And that was placed within your DNA. I'm giving you all this. As we saw it, we understood that we respected the sun, earth, wind, water, fire, as it kept us alive. It made us who we are. The sun. Like, there's so much more, but we got to move on. This birthed all this. From out of this, your spirituality, all these religions, and if you notice, all of them is dealing with a circle or a sun, because they're all tying back into the sun. And most of them just don't know how or why. So your spirituality birthed all of those religions that we see today. How much time have I got now? I nearly finished. Them say nearly can't kill but do. Soon done. So I got to wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. We have to look at this and realize that we have a saying as Atonis. We are one soul in different bodies. Say it with me. We are one soul in different bodies. Again? We are one soul in different bodies. You are all linked because the universe is linked. And you're a product of the universe. You have melanin. And that melanin was a product that came from carbon. And that carbon is black. And no matter what hue you are, that blackness or that melanin is within you. It's a product of the universe. So we are one in different bodies. All of us are connected. Now, there was different parts in there where I could have gone different ways, and I would have loved to have gone different ways, but hey, we've all got a time. I'm here on behalf of the Hidden Science Academy, and I'm just going to present this small little thing to you, just so that you can understand the origin of what we call African spirituality, right? This is... Let's do that fast for them. Oh, no, let's go back there. Who I am Kahun Montu Tar. We are from the Holy Coptic Church, and if you want to visit us, there's where you can visit us. You can come. We've got a stall down the other end where we're selling books and products, and we've got cards there as well, so you can come and see us wherever you want to meet us. I've got one of my latest books here. If you want to hold it up for them, if you want to purchase one and me to sign it, come and see True Morality and loads of other stuff. I thank you. It's 11 day, I know. I thank you all for being patient with me. I know you might be saying, so much stuff. I know. But to present to you in 40 minutes the creation of the world, it can't be done that quickly. Thank you for being patient with me, and namaste.
One more time, kings and queens, the right pastor Kahun Montu Tar. You enjoy that? That's a quick introduction, isn't it? Yeah? All right, kings and queens.